Hi there, my name's Ben, and I like to read. Today, we're going to be reviewing Plato's book, The Trial and Death of Socrates, 4 dialogues. Now, a little bit about Plato. He was, in fact, a student of Socrates, and he's the main source of information that we have regarding Socrates himself. He inspired a whole variety of philosophy, gives his name to Platonic love, if you will, and also is known for his writings, such as The Allegory of the Cave, The Republic, among others. He's also very well known with his, because of his opposite Diogenes, who would continuously go into Plato's academy and roast him, but that's a story for another day. A little bit about Socrates now. He was the teacher of Plato and many other famous men of Athens. He's remarkable in the sense that we don't actually have a lot of primary sources about Socrates. We don't have any of his original writings. All that we have are, little bits and pieces of information from his students, such as Plato, which give us an idea as to who he actually was. And who he was undoubtedly the father of Western philosophy. He had an unbelievable mind in the sense of we have a Socratic method, a Socratic dialogue now, wherein two components of the dialogues of two opposing people keep asking each other questions in order to get to the root of the conversation, the root of the idea, and in essence birth a new concept. It's been used in education, philosophy, and it's far, far reaching. Now, there is some debate as to whether or not he actually existed, and this is mostly due to the fact that we don't have any of his original writings, and most of what we know about him comes from his students such as Plato. However, to shamelessly plagiarize Christopher Hitchens, he doesn't have to have existed, because his method speaks for itself. It's a method and a model that works and has been working for quite some time. Now, he's also very, very famous for, of course, the trial and his subsequent death. Now, Socrates was tried in Athens for irreverence, disrespecting the gods of Athens. He was given a choice: either plead guilty, and you can live, we'll give you a fine, or you have to die. Now, Socrates, in his immovable philosophical demeanor, decided to stick to his guns and said, I will not plead guilty. He argued his case and was executed by being forced to drink a hemlock-laced potion, which poisoned him and killed him, thereby bringing about the end to one of our most celebrated and revered philosophers. Now, his death and the matter of it is twofold, in which he explains in this book here. It's twofold in the sense that, one, if he admits that he's guilty, he admits that he's committed a crime, and in his mind he's committed no crime. But two, it would be the complete antithesis of his entire philosophy. On the other hand, Socrates understands that he must die, because if he were to rebel, it would weaken the state, which he so loves, but it would also be a compromise of his ideals as well. And Socrates is, like I said before, the ultimate stick-to-your-guns philosopher. Now, this book that I have, the Dover Thrift Editions, like I said, there's 4 dialogues in there, 3 of which are to Socrates' friends, Erythrio, Crito, and Phaedro, and then there is one apology within it. Now, the apology itself is not it doesn't mean what we've come to understand it as. He's not saying he's sorry for anything. The apology actually means it's defense. So this is his defense at his trial. Now, this book, I gotta say, it's not overly long. It's maybe from back to front 110 or so pages. The problem with this edition that I have, and it's not a personal problem, this is more so maybe you folks might want to pick up a different one, is that the language in and of itself, of course, because this is translated from ancient Greek, there's no footnotes, there's no introduction, There's not even any appendices that we can to give us context. So you really have to sort of find out all those answers for yourself. If you enjoy a puzzle, that's great. I would have appreciated a little bit of context, but at the same time, I'm glad that there wasn't, because we can. I feel that sometimes, even though it's really important to read the foreword, to read the introduction, to read the appendices after a book, it can also help, or while it helps our understanding, it also may pigeonhole us into taking a certain perspective, more so the perspective of the people providing the context. So I think that what this version succeeds in doing is that it allows you that freedom in order to explore your own perspective, which I think is ultimately Socrates' biggest gift to us. We have to not only stick to our guns, but we have to explore our own perspectives. It's a fantastic read. It is not just historical, it's not just philosophical, but you really get the sense that when Socrates speaks, he's thought about everything. But he makes it seem so effortless, like it's just off the cuff. This is someone who had a supremely logical mind. And this snapshot really gets, we really get to know Socrates. Of course, you can argue that you only ever really know someone in their final moments. And it's just a fantastically good and quick little read. Now, you are probably going to have to reread it, go dig, everything like that. If you're not a fan of philosophy, you might want to sit this one out, but I would argue that you shouldn't skip on it. This one is, without a doubt, of the sources that we have about Socrates, I think it's one of the most important, just because, again, we do get that unwavering moral fiber that he has, this pillar of philosophy that refused to bow, that refused to be crumbled. And I think that it is a supremely important book. I know I probably say that about a lot of stuff, but I think more so with this one, this book will help you think. It will help you, it'll help you think by forcing you to think. It'll force you to think about, okay, there are certain things that I compromise on, but what's worth compromising on? What's it worth? Are my beliefs, are my morality, is it worth my life? Would I be willing to sacrifice my very breath for an ideal? There's some really, really important questions that are asked. Some really good, really meaty questions that are asked here. And I don't have all the answers, but I would really, really love to hear yours. So go ahead and read it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching.